So beautiful people, these are the hams that I got. This is one of the hams that I got from Amazon. This one is the shank portion with the big bone in it. So I'll cut this up and I'll either vacuum seal some slices so we'll have some for breakfast or ham sandwiches, or I'll dice it up and I'll can it in mason jars so when I get ready to cook collard greens or black eyed peas, I already have my ham broth and my meat. I can just add it to the pot for some flavoring, and I'll save this ham bone and cook this ham bone down and make even more broth, and just use every portion of it that I can. These are some pretty big hams. My hand is not small by any means, so I did get 4 of these. So you guys, what I've been doing, this is the second ham shank. I'm just gonna peel all the skin off and the fat. I have the first ham bone in the pot. I'm gonna dice this up, put this in the mason jar. The reason I have the first ham bone in the pot, I'm gonna use that as my broth because these hams are already cooked. So you definitely want to cover them with liquid, otherwise they'll be really dry when you're canning them. And this is some eggs that I freeze dried and powdered, so all of the skin and the fat is off. I'm not going to cook this fat down into my broth because it'll just make it greasy. And I'm just going to go ahead and dice this second one up, add the bone to the pot, simmer it, and use that to cover it in the mason jars. So beautiful people, this is what I managed to get out of those 4 hams. 2 ham shanks and 2 ham butts. I got 14 quart jars, and I have this big Glad bowl full of ham left. I'll probably run another load of about 3 or 4 jars out of that as well. And I'm just going to process them on 90 minutes because they're quarts. And then I'll have shelf-stable ham to put in casseroles, to fry with potatoes for breakfast, or whatever we decide to use it with. Did I tell you guys, welcome to my channel. Thanks for being here. Beautiful people. I'm only recording for you all. I'm getting ready to make some meat sauce. I'm gonna home can it. I may even take some of this 80% lean ground beef that I got from Dollar General. It was 70% off. Here's your UPC code for those who want to search some stores. This is a store that is going to be remodeling. I'm going to just go ahead and cook this ground beef, strain it, mix it with some spaghetti sauce, pasta sauce, and go ahead and can it in my mason jars. I might even save some of it and just go ahead and start making some fresh chili. So beautiful people, this is just out of 12 rolls of 80% lean ground beef that I bought from Dollar General. Now we all know that a gallon is 8 pounds, so 64 ounces is a half a gallon. 8 cups of liquid is equal to approximately 4 pounds. So out of 12 rolls, that's 30% of what I paid for. 4 rolls that won't be eaten, 4 pounds. So you know that's all waste. So this is why I tell you guys, when you're building your stockpile and you're buying your food storage and eyes get to popping out of people's heads like, oh, you're gonna get it all? Yes, I am, but who are you to question me? They don't understand the concept of what you're buying and what you're actually going to be able to consume. I do. I know typically 30% of the meat that I get is going to be waste. It's going to be waste. So beautiful people, this is the 80% cooked ground beef. I'll put these in bowls. These are the bowls that we got for a penny, the sets that had penny to 46-piece sets, and these Glad bowls were on clearance at Dollar General in the previous year. So I'll just go ahead and refrigerate these until I finish cooking all my meat, And then I'll go ahead and decide what I'm going to do with it. Whether I'm going to freeze dry it, dehydrate it, can it, make sauces, chili, make some baked ziti or spaghetti, and freeze dry some of that. So all that's yet to be determined. But I still have to start with cooking all the meat. And you want to make sure that even though it's cooked, that it's refrigerated or you have it in a cooler with some ice. You don't want to run the risk of your hard work and your money going to waste. So beautiful people, now that I have all this ground beef and the sausage cooked and mixed together, I'm going to go ahead and add my pasta sauce that I got from Amazon, and I'll mix it up together. I already have my pressure canner on the stove with the water and the vinegar in it, and I've already been cooking my bacon that I bought also on clearance, so I'll be working on that, and my can of my butter, and this sausage and ground beef mixture for my lasagnas. So beautiful. Now beautiful people, this is what my meat sauce looks like with 14 quarts of pasta sauce added to it. Now I'm going to definitely add more. So this meat sauce will be used for my lasagna. It will be used for my baked ziti. It will be used for our spaghetti. I mean, plain pasta sauce in this house is just an ingredient to us. We would never have spaghetti pouring plain pasta sauce right out of the jar. Oh, that's like an insult to the spaghetti. So you guys, this is my 17th jar. You got it. 17th jar of pasta sauce. I had to go into my food preps and pull out some more jars. Even though this is a nice thickness, you still want some kind of sauce. Well, I want some kind of sauce to, so I'm going to thin this meat mixture out a lot. This is what I took out of the canner. So this was it, the meat mixture, really heavy. You can always thin it out later. My main purpose is to preserve the meat and to consolidate space by combining the meat that I just purchased at Dollar General with the pasta sauce that I had on my shelves that I've been picking up in various places on clearance. It just doesn't make sense to me to take up twice the space instead of just going ahead and combining the ingredients. Now this is the meat sauce that I've just taken one batch out of my canner. Those jars are still hot, so I'm not going to pick any up. And I'll just let these sit here. That's 7 quarts of extra heavy meat sauce. So I'm just going to go ahead and thin it out a lot more so that we have the meat goes further and we have more sauce to coat whatever pasta I'm utilizing. It just didn't make sense to me to have jars of pasta and jars of meat on the shelf. Sometimes I can my meat plain, meaning just the ground beef in the jars. That way I can use it for hamburger helper, use it for various other things, taco seasoning, add some taco seasoning to it, use it for tacos, whatever I desire. So I'll just go ahead and thin this out. I'll just thin it out with this sauce that I pulled out of my stockpile. So you guys, this is a lot thinner. And what else I like to do, because sometimes my meat sauce will become my chili base. It's only a matter of adding some chili powder and whatever other spices that you guys like in your chili. I also found this on clearance. See this? It was originally $7.28. It was $2.50. This is a half a gallon, 4 pounds of paste mild picante sauce. To me, this is nothing but garlic, peppers, onions, and tomatoes. Saves me a lot of chopping. See what I'm saying? All that goodness in there. Okay, you guys, so this is what my sauce looks like. I've gotten all the way to the bottom. I've added that 4-pound container of salsa. I've added, because these are on the floor, you guys, because I have to take all this to the recycling bin. I've added 7 jars of meat flavored sauce from Aldi's on top of those 16 jars of Happy Belly pasta sauce from Amazon. And this is what we have. So I just use this straight spatula, silicone spatula, to debubble. Yes, I do have a stainless steel funnel, but I'm going to use this one this morning because I don't feel like looking for it. And all you have to do, you guys, easy peasy, just go ahead and ladle your sauce in. Now, anytime we're dealing with something like ground beef and tomatoes, expect to have some seepage if you go too far up. And when they say an inch of, and I'm going to tell you, I like to debubble while my funnel is in there because the outside of the funnel is semi-keeping my rim clean, even though I'm going to go back with some vinegar. And yes, still using the penny vinegar from Dollar General. I'm going to go back with my vinegar on a paper towel and clean the rim of my jars. But just to get those bubbles out of there, this is my inch of head space. Sometimes even with pasta sauce, I might go a little lower, okay? That's just my preference, depending on how thick my sauce is. And I'm just going to pull that out without dripping, because you don't want a bunch of excess. If you can spare yourself the excess grease around that rim, then that's less of a chance that you have that your jars will not seal. Because even a piece of pepper, a piece of onion, a little bit of grease will keep that lid from sealing. You can always reprocess it after you clean it in the next batch, refrigerate it, and use it again, whatever your desire. So I'm just gonna fill the next one. You can see it's a nice helping. I'm gonna say this ladle was probably holding about a cup of meat sauce. Nice helping of sauce in here. One of these jars with some spaghetti is plenty for Mr. Man and I to have dinner and leftovers. Just gonna move that to the next one. Then I'm just gonna go ahead and clean the rim of these jars. And all you have to do, I have vinegar on my paper towel because vinegar will cut the grease. And you can see there's just a little speck of tomato sauce right there. So that could have potentially kept my jar from sealing. And guys, use the method that you are comfortable. Use the method that you're comfortable with as far as putting your lids on and your rings. Whether you want to boil them, whether you want to just rinse them off if you're using a pressure canner, because that temperature gets hot enough in that canner. And they're saying that you don't have to boil or sterilize anymore. I know that's the way that we've always done it. And I've been canning, well over 45 years. So I haven't been sick and no one's died. And thank you, Mother and Grandma, if she was still here. We're still here for this skill. So I'm just going to go ahead and quickly fill this up. I have parchment paper covering my meat sauce. It is currently 4:35 in the morning. I may go ahead and bag this up into Ziploc bags, put it in the freezer, defrost, and fill some jars, you know, from every few days or however long. But I have other things that I need to work on. Okay, you guys, so I've just loaded 7 quarts in my Presto 16 quart canner. Since it has meat and it's not just tomatoes or plain sauce, I am going to go ahead and pressure can this on high for 90 minutes because they're quarts. If they were pints, I would pressure can it for 75 minutes. Check out my other video that's linked right here, and check out my playlist on prepping. And on this playlist and in this video, you'll also see a step-by-step, more detailed guide on just canning meat. So beautiful people, this is spaghetti sauce that I canned back in 2022. And I have it in a pot just because I wanted to make sure I heat it throughout. And that's how Mr. Man likes his spaghetti. What I'll do, I always cook a big batch. The spaghetti I got when it pennied a few years ago at Dollar General. 1 cent for a 2-pound box, if you guys recall that. The meat was 50% off when Dollar General used to have the frozen food sections go 50% off. And I probably, if I don't recall right now, I probably used the cheapest spaghetti sauce, probably that $1.39 or 99 cents from Aldi's or Lidl. Add my seasoning, and yes, we season spaghetti, folks. And bada bing, bada bang. Okay, beautiful people, so I'm finally done canning the ham. I'm finally finished canning the ham. These are some of the jars of bacon. As you can see, this is the last batch that I took out. The ham is still boiling and bubbling in the jars. That little thin line is some of the fat that is in the muscle or tissue of the ham, aka flavor. So I'm going to label all of these jars of meat sauce have been washed. The rings have been removed. You do not leave these rings on your jars of food, because if the seal breaks for whatever reason, you want to be able to smell that food has gone bad and toss it before you kill yourself with botulism. You guys, here's something else that's awesome. That's a short, skinny version of it. Bacon. Purchasing it can be out of the price range for many of us. Even on Amazon, a 12-can pack is over $300. It's ridiculous. You can buy it on clearance from Dollar General for less than $2 for a 12-ounce package, and you can cook it. Lots of times I cook 5 and 6 packs at a time just to cook it faster. It doesn't matter to me if it's flat or not. You see me doing here, I'm rolling up the cooked bacon in parchment paper, not wax paper, you guys. Wax paper may potentially have the wax melt in your food while it's in a pressure canner under that high pressure. So I'm just going to put the whole wad, press it down. Yes, you guys, it's still a good idea to wipe your rims of your jars with vinegar. I'm just going to put a lid on it, or flats as some people call it. I'm putting a ring on it, screwing it just fingertip tight. You don't want to crank it on. And yes, I strain and I save my bacon grease. Why pay $7 a container at Walmart for bacon up when you can have your own bacon grease to use? And since it's going to be 100 degrees today, this is what Mr. Man and I will be eating. Corned beef brisket. Ignore the ashiness. It's from washing my hands 50 million times in this kitchen. Corned beef brisket, and we're going to have some fried cabbage out of the freezer. But we will not be heating this house up while it's hot outside. And I just want you guys to know you can find clearance meat and other produce and foods that are still good and high quality food. Don't let anybody tell you because it's on clearance that it's a low quality. The only thing I say is to make sure you are safe, make sure you are using the accurate processing times. I not only can, I dehydrate, which not so much anymore since I've had a freeze dryer for the past 3 years, but I do all types of things to stretch our dollars in this house. We are retired military, law enforcement, and we're working off of pension checks. So we're in the same boat as you guys, okay? So as always, you guys, thanks for watching. Hit me up with any questions you may have. I'm here to help you. And stay safe. Be blessed. We'll get through this together.